What are they like?
Expose them.
With all due respect,
You're not guaranteed anything in life anymore.
I think it's weird.
What?
No.
I heard low T test.
I want to know about this YouTube channel that you're running, man. Like,
That's a deep question. You just have to see it. Once you go there, you can't go back.
Leslie, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for inviting
Got
me.
another
I'm
slot
excited.
channel. So
Yeah.
excited. Leslie
There's
Slots is here.
So many slot channels coming
I
up.
know, it's amazing. But you are, I think, the youngest channel out there.
Potentially, yeah. So it's crazy. I think that's kind of why people got into it, because seeing somebody like younger come into it, and that is not really experienced, hasn't been doing this for years. And initially it was just more for fun. Like, does this really work? Like putting $100, will you really get a crazy amount of money? Let's just go try this for fun. We went to the casino one night, and then we were just kind of like, you know what? We might as well just film this. You know, like if we hit something big, we'll get it on camera. And then that's kind of where we just naturally kind of just kept going. And then, yeah, led us to here to where we are here today.
Dang, and the rest is history. Can you talk some numbers behind like what the channel looks like now, what the ad revenue looks like?
I'll keep the ad revenue a little bit of my personal secret for now.
Okay.
But I can tell you that it's profitable now, thankfully. So we're making money now. And yeah.
Do you have like a budget when you go in the casino? You're like, all right, today it's $100 or $1,000.
I try, but sometimes it just really depends on how the gameplay goes. Like if the slot is on a roll, like I'll probably spend less than I intended to, and it's a great thing. But sometimes I feel like we don't have enough videos, and then it's like another factor added on there. It's like, you know what, I think we might have to extend our budget, but we try to, typically what we do is we'll take out 1,000 and try to extend that for as long as we possibly can. So we'll play during the week, we'll play like a couple slots and just try to extend it as much as possible. But yeah.
How long
Smart
typically
ones.
does like $100 last? Because I tried going gambling about a month ago, and it lasted me 30 minutes. And I was like, this is fun. And then I told Dan this, and he's like, yeah, that's not typical. Is that really true?
Yes. Honestly, it really just depends on if you're at the right slot at the right time. There's no way to tell. Sometimes I will put in $100 and it can last me like 30 minutes, which is great and it's fantastic. Sometimes I have to put in 300 and the machine doesn't do anything.
Wow.
Like I don't get any line hits. I don't get any, like it's just a really bad session.
Do you still keep publishing those videos when they don't do anything?
I do, although it's kind of painful to do because people also don't want to see you lose. So I try to kind of
Like
balance it out.
reorder
You know,
them?
if I win, I'll post a win, and then I'll post some losses, and then I'll try to post a win again, just because it gets a little boring if you just keep posting losses.
Why
But
was I sitting like right next to you when I lost that $100? Like I know you only remember how much you won, but I'm like one slot machine away, and mine like click, 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 100's gone.
Yeah, I look
That's
over
like-
at
that's like
Dylan
I got
and
10
I'm like,
minutes of
why
content.
is he just on his phone now?
And then you're
I'm
like,
still
wait, has
going.
it really just been like 6 minutes?
Andrei's like, it's so easy, you know?
Yeah.
It's so true. Does playing play on your psyche a lot? Like, do you feel depressed sometimes? Just like, oh, that was a horrible day, and then it affects you? Because like when I do videos on YouTube, and I know you can relate, it's like you get like a 10 out of 10, which in the YouTube world is like the worst video in the last 10.
Right.
And then it like ruins your week.
Yeah.
Do you
No,
get that?
it definitely like there's been some times where we go out and play, and then we have like a losing streak on every single machine, and we're just like in the car ride, just silent, like, man, that
So
was
what
rough.
what does your team look like right now? How many people are working
It's
with you
my
or
my
for
boyfriend
you?
and I. So he's the one that's in the background of the videos, and it's just us. So I'll be in charge of just like uploading, and he'll kind of handle some of the finance stuff of it. So, but it's just us.
That's
Okay,
nice.
he's handling what are you guys investing your winnings in? Like, do you have any stock portfolio, or are you into crypto or into
As of right
real estate?
now, just saving. So saving up, hopefully we can save enough for property in the future. But for now, just saving, racking it
So
up.
real estate's going to be your first investment, you think?
Yes, hopefully.
Well, I actually wanted to ask, if I may, you don't have to answer, but how old are you?
I'm 27.
27. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's crazy young to be, I'm sure, making the kind of income you guys do. I just imagine, based on your views and the ad revenue, it's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, it really is.
Have you looked into buying a property here?
Not too much yet.
Not too
I'm
much
more
yet.
focused on just like saving up for now.
Do you guys, have you noticed, because I think Dan noticed that there was like an 80% or a 20% loss on your money over time. Like if you gamble long enough, the ROI loss is like 20%.
I think it's 9%.
Is it 9%?
I think. Well, okay.
Well, you
so
said
some slot machines
yes.
do. So every slot machine has to lose. You tell me this, but I think they all have to lose 9%. But then some have volatility that's very different. So some are just big wins and then lots of losses, and some are like
it's just
sort of more constant.
It's so crazy because every time I try to figure it out, it's like once I think I have it figured out, I don't. I go back to the same. It's really hard to be able to tell. It's just so up and down, with every machine.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if 9%, is that like a law? Like they have to lose 9% or something?
Yeah,
or
I think on average, if you had like an infinite amount of time, you would see a 9% loss on your money.
Because if you submit a slot machine to the government and say this loses a lot more than others, they'd be like, this is not legal.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
Either way, it's a loss.
That's
it's a loss
stuff,
for sure. Some sort of loss.
What
was your biggest win that you've ever had?
My biggest win was my first hand pay for, I think it was a little over 2,000.
Wow,
so like
that's great.
2,100, something like that. Yeah.
That's great. Well, what's the size of the hands that you're betting?
Oh man, I want to say it was $5.
$5. Okay.
Either $5 or $2.50 because that's usually what I'm betting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I remember betting $3, and like I do remember in the first like 10 minutes, my $100 went down to like $10.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is insane. I don't
This is
understand
rough.
how people do this.
Yeah.
But I also remember I made it into a video. And I was like, I don't understand anything that's happening on the screen. I'm like things are happening, but like I don't know what I'm looking for.
Right.
Have you got over that hump? Do you truly understand?
And
how
I
the
looked at
game's
the
I have,
tutorial.
and I know exactly what you're talking about because I used to feel this. I'm like, what is this? This character comes up and this sound effect, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, we just won $100.
Yeah.
So I kind of got over that hump. I kind of am now knowing, okay, every slot machine, there's something that you're looking for. You want to get into the bonuses. You want to get free spins.
Yes.
So now it's a little less intimidating, but for sure, initially I was like, what is going on?
What was the first game that you figured that out on? That you were like, I get it now.
I feel like it might have been probably like there's this slot called the Dragon Link slot, and it's a really popular. Everybody plays it. It's always full in the casino. Like there's always people on that slot. So I think like just watching more of those videos and like, oh okay, it's just started clicking, kind of just seeing. Yeah, it's called a Dragon Link. It's a big thing in the slots.
We just filmed the video with Pip the Magic Dragon, and he was like so pissed that we weren't on that machine. He's like, you put me on the lightning machine? He's like, there's one with Dragon on it right there. And we're like, oh yeah, we should have thought about that. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, let's go back in time and talk about sort of where you grew up, where you come from, what makes you tick,
give
and
us
how
the backstory.
How did you start with like being a video editor? How did that come about? Did you have any other jobs, any odd jobs? Like take us way back.
I'm from originally Los Angeles. That's where I was born and raised. I lived there my entire life. I just recently moved here to Vegas. Before I was got into like editing or anything YouTube related, I used to teach at dance studios. So I used to dance on competitive hip hop dance teams, and then that kind of got me into teaching at dance studios. And then from there, I just started meeting friends that were into YouTube, and then that's kind of where it just sparked that interest, I guess. And I was like, oh, really got into kind of like learning how to edit and these different channels, how to catch on to trends.
Did you film your own videos of you dancing and like making?
I used to, yeah. Initially, that's what I wanted to do, was be more like do dance videos, but it's not that great when the music gets copyrighted. So
it's so crazy because like that background reminds me so much of myself.
What?
Because for me, it wasn't dancing. For me, it was well, first it was gymnastics, but then it was magic, and then cardistry, and then it was like, but then I love these videographers and the videos that they make. And then it was like around the same time that like skateboarding was blowing up, and they were doing those fisheye videos.
Yeah.
And
you tried to be a skateboarder?
No.
You just love the fisheye videos.
Yeah, I was like,
you're like,
so
I got
cool.
into the fisheye.
Dude, yeah, the magic and
skateboarding blew
cardistry
up.
industry, like they were blowing up at the same time too. So we were making all these like, not hip hop, but like really cool videos with fisheye lenses of us doing card tricks and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, so it like leveled up my cardistry, but also my videography.
Right.
So I can relate with that background.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you can combine dancing with slot machines somehow.
Dancing next to the slot.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I was thinking that like, what if I shuffled cards and played with cards? I feel like I'd get kicked out of the
I think
casino.
people would love that, like playing with cards while you're.
They would hate it. They'd be like, dude, just.
I think people would love it.
What is
when
this?
When I watch people playing poker and they're like skilled with the chips, that's cool. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. No, that is cool. Wait, so did you have like a tough upbringing where your parents were like, oh, you got to go to college, you got to get a job, you got to be a nurse or whatever? And
yeah,
you went through that.
I went through that, and I did go to college and I didn't finish college, so that was the rough time.
Oh, at UNLV or this is in LA?
This was at Cal State Fullerton in California. So
Okay. What was your degree going to be in? What were
initially
you working towards?
I went in for computer science.
Oh, nice.
Well, that's
CS major?
So that's why they were so
Oh.
disappointed to see me stop.
What's your language? Python?
No, I didn't get very far. I don't even remember.
Okay.
I was in very beginning stages.
The question nobody watching cares about. Okay. Anyway, that's
Dylan,
good. It's good we
Dylan
didn't go
cares
there.
about it. He's like, you want to talk programming?
I was like, yeah,
It
what's your
was-
favorite way to measure an average?
It was so when I left, I was like, everything left my brain. I don't even remember. And I was very indecisive. Like I even was doubting my path. Like I was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. This is a lot. I even considered like psychology, switching major. And then I was just like, I can't keep switching. So that's when I was like, I need to take a break. And then during my break was when I just started bouncing around, trying these different things. So I bounce
But
around
that's
a
like
lot.
you, Andrei. Like she likes to try different genres.
Yeah, no,
and
I
kinda
do.
mix
Yeah,
them.
I'm
And
everywhere.
Sometimes mixing two together is a special way to like find yourself uniquely
Yeah.
in a position.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel like going through that journey though, like it's only fun when looking at it retrospectively through
It
the
works.
lens
Oh,
of
yes.
success.
Yes.
If like
For
you
sure.
went through it to get to a point where you're happy in life, then looking back, you're like, that was fun.
Right.
But when you're like
You're
looking
right.
back at it and you're like,
You're just like, why can't I focus on something
dude,
that works? Yeah.
Yeah,
you're like,
there's
this is the
definitely
worst. Why am I here?
a lot of times of where I've experienced that.
just like mental meltdowns. And
yeah, like what am I doing? Like why is nothing working? But no, it's just I think it's just I'm just an eager learner, so I just bounce around a lot and I'm like, this is interesting. Let me learn this and let me go here. And
What
yeah.
made you move from California to Vegas?
I think it was just everything was so hectic price wise over there.
Is it just
So-
you? Are your sister still in LA? Or did your
Everyone,
whole family
my
move
whole
out here?
family's over there still.
Oh.
So it was
you
just
made the move on your own.
my boyfriend and I, yeah,
Oh.
we moved over here.
And was that because of job opportunity he had, or was that because you both just wanted cheaper living and
It
were
just
attracted
made-
to Vegas?
Yeah, it just made sense financially with, tax
Oh.
incentives and
Were your
our-
parents sad you were moving so far away? I guess it's not that far.
it's not
Were they
that
just
that's the
like,
thing that
"Yeah,
I
it's not
kept
that
telling
far."
myself too. Like, it's not that far. Like I was a
You can
little
drive it.
dramatic at first, like I'm leaving my whole family, but it's like I don't see my family like every single day. They're working, I'm working, so
Yeah.
it's like and it's just a drive away.
At what age did you move out of your parents' house?
I was 19.
Oh wow,
19,
really
yeah.
early.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you kind of need to get out of there, or were you like...
I just wanted to
were
try
they like
new
stay and
things
you're like, I need to be on my own?
yeah, I just felt like
I'm
I
a
needed
bird.
to
I need
leave
to
the
fly.
nest.
Like, okay. Yeah.
Just to try new things because they were very much on the traditional path of like you have to go to school and you have to do this, and I just felt like I couldn't really like expand, try new things living with them, so I kind of left a little bit early. But
So
yeah.
when did you and your boyfriend meet? I'm gonna pretend like he's not like 10 feet over there.
yeah.
How did you guys meet? First
He's
of all,
like,
We
do you remember his
met-
anniversary? Don't forget it.
this is a test.
So we've been together for 7 years. We met through one of my dancer friends was actually friends with him. So
Oh,
one
he's
day,
a dancer too?
no, he's not.
You
She's
oh.
very stiff.
He's very
You don't dance together all the time?
No.
That's fair enough. I wouldn't.
So my friend on my dance team was actually his friend, and since he was already involved with like filming and stuff and YouTube, my friend was asking me if I wanted to record one of my choreography videos, and I was like, yeah, sure. And I have a friend that I can introduce you to, and it was him, my now boyfriend, and so that's how we met.
Oh, okay, through a
Yeah,
friend.
through a friend,
That's
pretty
nice.
much.
7 years is a long time. Do you
So
guys?
what's the psychology between you and your sisters? I'm just curious. Like, are you versus them like more kind of alpha, or are you sort of the like beta, or like maybe that's not a term, but like are they go-getters? Do they want to like be in YouTube? What do they want out of the world?
They're very focused. We're all very hardworking, very focused. We have a great sister relationship. Like it's not
You guys
competition.
don't fight that much?
I've never fought with my sisters.
That's
Never,
nice.
yeah, I love them.
Because my girlfriend has a couple younger sisters,
Yeah.
and they're all just so different. Like they're all
Right.
succeeding in their own way, but I don't know. I'm just curious how does the dynamics work between you?
I think I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with that. I didn't live with all of them since we lived separate, and so maybe that has a reason to do with why we're so close, actually, and why we appreciate each other so much and we lean on each other so much. So yeah, no, we're really close.
Well,
I
and your parents are
can't-
divorced, so some of them grew up under different parents.
Correct. Yes.
So
So I have a stepmom, and then I had my
Oh, so very
stepdad.
different
Yeah, very
households in
very
that
different
sense.
households. I would bounce around a lot, so yeah.
Are you like a baller status in all the casinos yet? Are they
You
giving
have
you
diamond
the-
card everywhere.
Not
Yeah.
yet, but that's the goal.
That's the
That's
goal,
the
yeah.
goal one day.
Yeah. Wow.
So when you've been in the casinos, have you ran into Vegas Med and Vegas Low Roller? Like,
one
who are the
time-
other slot
Yeah,
channels?
spill the
that
tea.
you-
Who's like?
Yeah.
What are they like?
Yeah, like what have they been like? Yeah, what are your
Expose
interactions
them
with
here.
the other channels been like?
I've ran into one person, and that is Vegas Low Roller. I don't know if he even knew who I was, but I was like, hey, like I saw him playing a slot, and I just introduced myself, and I was like, hey, I love your channel, really great stuff, and I do slots myself, so yeah, keep doing what you're doing, and took a picture with him. That's the
Oh,
only
that's
person.
nice.
It was a great experience. He's so nice.
Yeah, Dan
He's
is
so
very
nice.
I
likable.
figured
He's
you
so wholehearted.
interacted with them all the time and like went to dinner and stuff. So you haven't really connected with Ruby
No.
or Pomsey or.
I think I'm just so
No, that's
fresh
good.
into
You're
this.
so new, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just growing so fast, so
I know.
everything's moving really fast.
Well,
But
it's incredible that your videos, it seems like on average you're getting like maybe 1.5 or even 2 times your sub
It's
count every single day. I'm like,
it's so crazy.
The algorithm has to think to itself like this needs to go to more people if they're watching this long, the retention's this long,
Yeah.
the watch time's this long.
Yeah, no. One of the videos that we just filmed, which was a Halloween video, it got over 100,000 in like 2 days, and I just reached 20,000 subscribers. So that is mind blowing. I'm
That's
like,
really
what? How?
good.
Like, I checked my phone, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy.
Do you have any pro tips for people why your videos pop off and like why people like to watch them?
I think
What's your theory?
I would say just keep an eye out and kind of just analyze what people are doing, like what they're
Okay.
playing, why some video, like, you know, they're definitely getting a little more creative with it, and I'm trying to get a little more creative with it versus just like kind of randomly playing a slot. Maybe make it a little challenge of like, I played every Dragon Link slot in the casino was another one that we recently did. So kind of just getting creative
Did
with
that do
it.
above average?
Yeah,
by
I did.
adding
It
that
was
challenge to
yeah,
it?
yeah. So those, and especially because they're longer videos, kind of catching on. Like, oh, they like to see longer videos too.
Yeah, I feel like I've always had this idea to be like, how long $100 lasts me? And then it's like 2 minutes, and you're like, well, that's the end of the video.
That's the video. Sorry.
Well, remember Vegas Med had that one where he played I think it was like $3,000 slot or something. Remember, and he hit it, and it's like, okay, and then the video's just over. You're like,
Yeah, I don't understand how someone can like win 10 grand and just be like, all right, let's keep playing, and then goes to 10 grand and then back down to zero.
Oh, that's-
I would be so depressed.
That's
It doesn't even
drama.
matter if I'm making 100K a month on ad revenue or whatever. I'd just be like so sad.
I don't understand how they do it. Like these channels that play like $200 a spin, 300. Like, I'm already like anxious about losing 100.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't think I can do that.
And it's really interesting because I've also noticed that the videos that people relate with the most are the ones with normal dollar
Yeah.
denominations, not like spending 100 grand on the dragon. It's more like
Right.
$100 Tuesdays with like Ruby
Yeah, I
or
think
whatever
so.
she does.
Yeah,
with
I think
that.
they enjoy more relatable
stuff, yeah.
realistic bets,
Yes.
because then that's how they actually play, and they can kind of see like, oh, I can try this machine, and I can maybe try that bet size, you know, more
Yeah.
things that they can actually do versus kind of like a fantasy, which is still fun to watch, you know,
Right.
the bigger, crazier bets. But
And what's interesting is the more successful you become, the more money starts to kind of like lose its meaning. So it's, I
Right.
think, very easy to get away from that and then be like, okay, let's increase it to $500 a hand or $100 a hand or
right,
whatever
right.
it is.
Yeah.
And then what's also interesting is you can't go down. And this is something like Matt was explaining to us. Like once you start, like what he's doing, he can never go back
hedonic
down to like
treadmill of slot
$100
channels.
Mondays
No,
with
it,
Matt. It's
yeah.
like,
See, that's
okay.
the thing.
like,
Also,
oh, dude, I'll tune out. Yeah.
once you go there, you can't go back. You
Right?
just can't gain that. The excitement is kind of gone.
Yes.
Also the big wins, because when you're betting more, you're winning more. So
Yes.
it's like now you're winning like 200 as opposed to like 20,000, and it's like, how do you really can't go back.
We got down to another podcast that we hosted, and we asked him about like what the risk tolerance is, and basically what we figured out about people is that we all want to live our lives in a way that we take a risk. So like we don't want our lives to be like boring and predictable,
Right.
and each of us have a different sort of approach to how we like to experience said risk. Like a lot of business people, for example, tend to like just investing their money, and I'm like, why? You have millions of dollars.
Right.
Like, why do you keep like
Uh-huh.
investing it? Just go enjoy life. It's because that's what excites them. As a creative, for me, like the way I get my little fill is by making videos that I'm like, ooh, I don't know if this is gonna do well, but it's like a little more selfish for me. It's a little more risky, and I get that fill. It's my creative risk, and that's how I like to experience risk. Is there a way that you like to experience risk in life that you feel like gets you fulfilled?
That's a good question. That's a deep question.
Yeah.
Just trying things outside of my comfort zone, I
Yes.
guess. Like I
Okay.
like trying new things, and if I see that it has potential to take me somewhere, or I can acquire a new skill, that's my risk.
What does your boyfriend do for a job or living?
Videography still?
Yeah, he does YouTube.
Oh, okay, so you guys both do YouTube, but not the same channel. You guys have separate
Right,
channels.
right,
Oh,
right.
okay. And what kind of content?
For his channel?
Yeah.
I don't know if he wants to talk about
Okay.
that.
Oh, okay.
That's fine, okay.
Let's promote it. Let's drop the name.
Yeah, link in the description below.
Okay, so he does YouTube, and he does relationship videos.
Yeah.
Relationship.
Okay, so specifically before we start, relationship testing.
Yes.
So is it like kind of like social experiments, more or less?
It's more like loyalty tests. It's a lot
Oh.
of drama.
Loyalty
Completely different area of YouTube.
Is it kind of like reacting to stuff, or more like creating a scenario?
Creating
or
the scenario and
like
seeing-
Darman style, or like
No, this is like legit stuff.
Oh, like
So
he'll go to the strip and he'll be like, "Hey," and then just interview couples.
It's like
Hidden
something
camera?
that we plan in advance with couples. That is,
Oh.
it's a whole thing.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, you
No,
kind of have to
gotta
watch
tell us.
it.
Is this a
too
new niche
intriguing.
that I haven't heard of?
Yeah,
What is it?
I've never
Oh,
heard
it's
of this
been
niche
around
yet.
for
Is
a
it
minute
kind
now.
of pranks?
It's kind of more in the prank world, I would
What's
say.
like the goal of it? Is it to find out like a weakness in the relationship and help, or is it like
To
what's the
exploit?
to like
kind of to help somebody that is struggling in a relationship where there's been like loyalty issues, and kind of
Oh.
help them come to terms with like
so maybe somebody who cheated on someone
Yeah.
else and then getting to the bottom of that,
Getting
and, like,
to-
why it happened.
not it's kind of one of those things you just have to watch it. It's very intense.
Okay.
It's more to just kind of I don't know how to say this.
We got to get you to explain it, man.
you just gotta see it. I don't
got-
know how to explain this, but you just gotta see it. It's
What's the
drama.
elevator pitch? What's like, if someone's like, "What kind of content you do?" You're like, "This."
It's always an interesting question because I'm like, I don't know how to explain this because this is a tough one, but you just have to see it.
I
Yeah.
want to know about this YouTube channel that you're running, man.
I feel like yeah.
you should come on, man.
My name is Sergio. I got a YouTube channel. It goes by UDY, and yeah.
Nice. Can you explain briefly what I was trying to guess at? Like, you can grab the mic if you want.
Yeah.
The whole relationship experiments. What does that look like?
So they're basically loyalty tests.
Loyalty tests.
Yeah.
See, I haven't even heard of that until you brought it up.
Really?
How does that look like?
I heard low T test. I was like, what?
If let's just say you had a girlfriend and then you didn't
You do
trust
have a
her, or
girlfriend.
something happened, or even if you wanted to do it for fun,
Yeah.
you were to be like, "Yo, I kind of want to put it to the test. Are you down?" And then so we'll set up like a test. We'll get like a guy.
So you'll
to
like
come in.
hire someone to come in and like maybe hit on that person.
Yeah, usually it's like one of our friends. Yeah.
Whoa.
They'll come in, they'll hit on the girl or the guy, and
No kidding.
then we'll see if she fails or if
Okay, so I really actually want to get into that because I have a friend that I feel like loyalty tests a lot of his dates. And I'm like, dude, I feel like that's such a toxic trait though, because you can't like test people, especially when you first meet them.
Yeah.
Because like they don't owe you anything. But even in a relationship where it's like, I feel like by testing someone in some way, subtly, you're almost setting them up for failure potentially.
yeah.
Am I wrong or?
No, you're right. Which is why, like, with
You're
all due
for
respect
sure
to the
right.
people that we've had on, usually their relationships are already like toxic.
Right.
Usually their relationships aren't like serious. They're not the ones that are in like 5-year, 10-year committed relationships and stuff. It's usually relationships that are like super toxic. Maybe they've been dating for like a year, but they're like on and off. And yeah, so
Wow.
Because I'm always suspicious when I meet someone and I'm like, they talk about their crazy ex. I'm like, oh, I don't know, man. That just means your future ex you're going to eventually put in that same category. You know, like I don't know. I just think that's weird.
Yeah, but like everyone you asked about, you're like, all their relationships, they're all crazy exes. You're like, at what point is it maybe you? You know what I mean?
No, that's
Like-
exactly right. I'm like, yeah, like if somebody comes out and they're like, you're cheating, it makes me think like you must be cheating. Why did you say that in the first place? You
no,
know?
that's true. I think it's
It
also
feels
the
like-
I think it's also like the online dating world too. I think a lot of people meet through like online, and so that already like sets them up for like trust issues in the future. Because like if you met someone online what are the chances that that person is probably talking to someone else too, or like messaging other people, or like matched probably with like 10 other guys or 10 other girls before they matched with you?
If you think about it from like our ancestors, they were never in a world where there was thousands and thousands and thousands of choices for mates. So it's like, I think it's messed with our brain in a weird way too.
Have you guys ever cheated or been cheated on?
No.
Can you imagine if they said yes to that one? It'd be like, Andre. Like,
Everybody always comments
Cheated
like,
on.
put Sergio to the test, but
well, we have a video to reveal to you.
But see, that's the thing. Like, usually it's not the couples that are in good relationships. They're not the ones doing this. It's
Right.
usually
Of course,
more on the,
yeah.
again, without due respect, more on like the toxic side. And they know this too. They know
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I just don't trust her.
So,
or like, I'm
so
super
for
toxic.
them, is it more like just like a entertainment, or is it like what do they hope to achieve with it? Do they want to fix their relationship, or is it just more like, haha, I knew it?
Okay, so there's like, this is interesting because there's like a class of them. Some of them just want to do it because they want to be on YouTube. They just want to be on YouTube, and they're like, dude, I want to test my girl. And so we'll like vet them, right? We'll ask them like, so why do you want to test them? And they'll be like, oh, because, you know, like this, that, blah, blah. Okay, but are there any issues? And then when they don't bring up any issues, when they bring up just like, dude, I just want to test her. I'm like, bro, come on. Like,
Right.
We feel bad, but then at the same time, it's like, dude, like, it sounds so bad, but it's like, okay, bro, it's probably not going to make a good video. She's
Right.
probably going to pass. Nothing's going to happen. Like, are you sure you really want to put her through that and stuff? Then there's the other side of people that come on, and they want to test them because it's just, like I said, just toxic. Like, for example, the guy will be talking to other girls, or the girl will be talking to other guys, or they'll be at clubs, et cetera, et cetera.
What have you found? Like, is there any common denominators?
like,
any
what are the traits of
interesting
a toxic
takeaways?
relationship?
Yeah, like what's
like 10 tips to
what
look
have you
for if you want to
figured
know
out?
if your relationship is toxic.
I think it's social media. I think that if I had to say, because the majority of the time it's always like, oh, she's on Instagram or he's on Instagram. It's DMs, it's messages, or like, oh, shoot, like I feel like he's talking to other girls on like Tinder or dating apps or whatever.
Okay.
So I would say that, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think everything is different.
Have you ever like looked at someone and you're like, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but do you have this ability where like you look at someone and you're like, you can tell whether they have a significant other or not? Like you're like, this person's definitely single, or this person's definitely in a relationship.
I think so.
And I just think the way they dress, the way they come across, it's like everything. It's
Yeah.
like there's a difference between, oh, you're definitely on the market right now versus like you're off the market.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like-
no, I get you. I
Like
get you.
peacock attitude or
Yeah,
something. Like,
Yeah.
Right. And I guess social media, like you said, is one of those peacocky kind of like, oh, you're dressing like this and you're posting this on Instagram and you have a boyfriend and you guys you're not posting like couple photos anymore. Like something's wrong.
That goes into like the whole social media thingy, because like we know friends that are like in relationships, but they will never post their boyfriends. They will never
Right.
post their girlfriends.
Isn't that
They'll, like,
odd?
want
That's
to keep
weird,
that-
right?
I think it's
has
weird.
that ever worked? Did you know anyone with a good relationship that doesn't post their significant other?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
In
we
a
know,
good relationship?
We know. We have friends that they don't post them.
Is it a marketing thing? Like they just want to be seen as single for like their business?
It's like a social media thing.
See, that I get, yeah.
It's like the
Oh,
followers.
okay,
It's
yeah.
like showing
That's a
that.
business decision, like Sniper Wolf or something, right?
Right,
Like you're
exactly.
like, I want to look single all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like that's more applicable to like female creators more so than like guys for some reason.
Oh,
like,
for
I feel
sure.
like girls, it behooves
it's like the
girl
opposite.
creators to not necessarily show off
No,
that they have a boyfriend.
Single
I think
guys
I-
are trying to look like they have a
Guys
girlfriend.
want to flaunt.
You think
though.
so?
Guys want to show
Yeah,
off
guys wanna
cars.
flaunt,
Guys
exactly,
want to
yeah.
show off more girls. And instead of
Yes.
showing off one girl, they want to show off like 10 girls.
Yeah.
Yes.
So more guys are more like that. Yeah.
That's just the algorithm just going to push a girl who's single looking more often, I guess, to guys who are.
Yeah, because more
it's
guys
just
will like it, which tells the algorithm, let me push
Yeah.
this, let me keep pushing this, and
Do you-
vice versa with guys.
Do you guys ever get jealous of like in your relationship as far as like, you know, if you're successful on social media and maybe you got people in your inbox or vice versa? Does that ever come across as a
Oh,
thing?
yeah, you see her inbox?
No,
Our guys
no,
always-
we don't see each other's messages or nothing. I mean, me
From the
personally, I
slot
don't.
channel, though, right? There's got to be a business email attached to it.
Yeah, there's a business email, but like, and then I think she links her personal Instagram and stuff. Or either way, they'll find it, because either
Yeah.
way they
Yeah.
find mine. Either way, you know, the internet does
You
their
write
thing.
back. She's taken. Stop it.
For me personally, I think it's like, you know, we have a good relationship. We trust each other. I never check her emails, her messages. Never done that. She's never done that to me.
Yeah, because those people are going to be around. Because when we interviewed Dan, he was like, there's women. They're like baking for me. They're trying to get in my inbox. Like he has a lot of that.
I
Yeah.
can't believe that's a real thing.
Yeah. Get ready when you get to 300,000 subs. It's guaranteed to happen.
I mean, yeah, no, I've seen it happen in my career too. It's like the moment you become relevant, and social media is just like more powerful right now than money and anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And
Because you got underwear sent to your PO box, right?
dude, yeah, like weird stuff. I've had weird stuff sent to me, yeah, and it's like, what?
Whoa.
Like I have had people reach out to me that would like be like, you would never reach out to me otherwise, like before YouTube. Like I know the type of girls that like maybe would want to reach out to me, and the ones that I have in the past, I'm like, yeah, it's definitely like maybe not the kind of person I want to be with.
For sure.
Because, you know, success and money and all that
It'll
stuff.
be built on the wrong foundation.
Yeah, exactly. It's fleeting. It'll come and go. But when I think about it, like I feel so old, and I'm like, man, I wish social media wasn't a thing. Like I'm so happy that it is, and it's allowed
Right.
so many people a way to make a living and a way to meet other people and make friends. But also, it's like even with me on Instagram or like even YouTube, sometimes I don't want to consume any content on any platform.
sure.
Like it's just such a bad thing for my mental health, I feel like.
Yeah. I think social media has like really good intentions, and it's a great way to, how you said, connect people. Also, like if you're in a relationship or if you have family, you know, you could post that, store those memories, have those videos up there. But definitely it also opens the door to all these other things that can hurt people mentally, because some people can have like a really nice home, right? But then they see on social media these nicer homes, or their friend just got a newer home, and then they start thinking their home's not enough, so they're like, oh, I need a new home. It's almost like the whole keeping up with the Joneses, you know, when you move into a new home. But now, since it's on social media, people get that effect more.
Right.
They get that effect
And
more
especially
with
in
their
the
cars,
slot,
their money.
in the slot genre, it's a definite hedonic treadmill. Like you have to be very careful not to be like, well, this week it's just $1 bets, then $3, then $8.
Yeah, 'cause it stops feeling like money at one point.
Yeah,
Just
and then
like more
it does.
engaged in the
right,
graphics.
and you'll have
Yeah.
millions and millions of dollars, but you're going to be
potential.
betting too big
Yeah.
still. What are some of the documentaries that you guys have watched together, or like do you read any nonfiction books or
documentaries.
like
Any
some of the
series?
stuff? Yeah, like
Yeah,
what
you
are you
guys
guys
get
interested
into
in together?
series?
Like
Series.
Like, you know, like Breaking Bad. Oh man, I'm dating myself. Like Breaking Bad.
I don't know.
the last time you went to a movie theater.
I'm on that low-key binge right now.
I really, yeah, I personally don't like to watch them because like I can't stop.
You
So,
can't
like,
stop,
I'll
yeah.
binge them, and
Yeah.
so that's why I choose like, oh, I'll just watch a recap of it, or I'll just watch something else, and I just choose not to watch them.
Yeah, we choose more of recaps versus sitting there through like an hour-long thing.
Yeah.
It's just more time efficient.
That genre where they just sort of like speak to you logically what the movie was about.
Yeah.
Is that? Oh yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Those,
That's
have you
another
seen
good
that genre, the recap channels?
No.
They're like blowing it. Someone just like reads the Wikipedia on a movie,
Huh.
or something, and it's like
it just condenses it into like 10 minutes, like a really short story.
you guys are efficiency people.
When
huh?
that genre was blowing up, I literally called it. I told my brother, I was like, start a channel on this, like start
Yes.
recapping movies, because he
Oh,
loves
did
that
he?
kind of stuff. He didn't, unfortunately.
He'd
He
be so
didn't.
famous, right? We'd be
It
interviewing
would have,
him.
it would have blown up. That channel would have been, literally like 2 months into that genre, when I saw it like blowing up, I was like, yo, this is gonna be a thing. And
See, I feel like that's what's happening with slot channels right now. I feel like right now
This is the
YouTube's
moment, yeah.
algorithm is changing to the point where they don't really want to serve as many of like 14, 15-minute videos anymore, because they realize that there's actually like two extremes. Like if there's a spectrum, shorts on one end and really long form on the other, where YouTube used to live was kind of in the middle, which is where my videos are. But right now we're going through this era where YouTube shorts are now in the search results. Like when you type up something on YouTube, like shorts are actually in the results, which is like insane. Because people understand, like YouTube's basically aggregating all this information, and what it's showing it is that shorts keep people on the platform for an hour. Because you're just scrolling and you're just doing this for an hour or 2 hours.
It's addicting.
It's addicting.
Yeah.
Or if you're on a podcast, you're watching it for 3 hours or whatever it is, it understands, okay, let's push podcasts, let's push
Longer,
short form.
shorts,
But if you
yeah.
watch anything in the middle, like a 15-minute video from me or Graham or something, you'll watch one or two of those. And then you're like, okay, I'm done for the day. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know
So
exactly what
I
you're
feel like slots right now are in this perfect upper middle ground where it's like a 30-minute, it's like, cool, I know that if they watch that 30-minute, they're going to watch it all the way, and they might even watch another one.
Exactly.
And it's like now they're spending an hour on the platform versus 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what's happening. People are going down the rabbit hole of the slots, and they keep pushing, recommending the new
And
channels.
I think slot channels right now are just blowing up.
Well, have you seen how many people have
Algorithmically.
entered your space in like 2 months? Like if you just look at slot channels in the last 2 months, there's so many that have like 10 videos, 20 videos.
And what's
They have,
crazy?
like, 500 subscribers and they'll get like
it's getting
thousands and
Yes.
thousands
Yeah.
of views. So I'm like, wow, this is crazy. It's really
Yeah, and what's
Yeah.
crazy is the monetization behind them is insane. Like you don't have to have 1 million subscribers to make like a really good living.
Yeah, because like you guys are profitable now after 1 year. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, that's that. That's
And you were in the
that-
partner
that's a good
program after a
take.
few weeks. Like, so her channel's making more money than yours?
No.
Oh, your channel's bigger?
Yeah.
Okay.
The UD channel's at it's a little over 6 million subscribers.
Oh,
that's
okay.
awesome.
Yeah, we had no idea. Dude, we were sitting off camera. We had this like dang,
Yeah.
6 million
I
subs.
always-
oh, and you built that whole thing?
Yeah. Well, she came in probably on year 3 to help, and she was really helping me out. I couldn't
Like
have done a lot of
editing
things
or-
without her.
Okay,
Editing, filming.
Okay.
Oh, I wish I would have
with our
researched
crew
it
and
ahead of
everything.
time. So it's when did you upload your first video? How long have you been doing it for?
I've been doing YouTube since 2015. When I was
Okay.
19, I
That
started
was a
YouTube.
good
Wow.
time to get
Yeah.
into it. Yeah.
And so like going back to your take, what you were saying, Andre, about like, YouTube's algorithm and everything. The way I kind of look at it was like YouTube is kind of like a pendulum.
Yes.
It'll favor short form videos for like, let's say 2-3 years. Then it goes over back to long form videos. Then
Right.
it goes back to short form. Then it goes back to long form. It's almost like any market, that goes
I
up,
would
down.
hope so. I haven't seen the pendulum swing back to like midterm content yet, just because ever since TikTok came about, YouTube's like, I gotta compete, and I just haven't seen that shift from short form back into like 10 to 15 minute videos
Yeah.
quite yet. Although I'm speaking from a very narrow point of view. I'm speaking from a financial point of view, which like for us, it is very cyclical. Like for finance videos, it's the world either has to be falling apart for people to watch our videos, or everyone is just like making insane amounts of money and the stock market's exploding. But if it's anywhere in the middle and it does what it should do, then no one cares.
Relationships are evergreen though, right? Because everybody's
Yeah,
like breaking up all
I
the
feel
time.
like that's
Yeah, but
evergreen,
the
yeah.
content in it of itself, like when you present it, like when I first started off, I was doing like 8-minute videos. It was doing really well, but then those stopped doing good. So then we transitioned to doing 30-minute videos, 40-minute videos. Those did really well at the time.
Yes.
But then TikTok came around and nobody wanted 40-minute videos anymore.
Right.
So we transitioned back to making like 13-minute, 15-minute videos. Those were doing good, and now we're transitioning back to doing 20+ minute videos.
Do you guys know your CPM rates for each of your channels?
Yeah, so for the slots, it's 12.
12.
And
okay.
then the RPM is 6.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
And for the UD channel, the CPM, I think last time I checked, it was like 16 or 17.
No way.
I don't know
It's
how.
really high, dude.
I will, if I, whoa.
Relationship. So the
had
advertisers
to-
really want to be in front of probably all the apps, probably like Tinder and Bumble.
Dude,
and
if
stuff
I
are
had to
paying
guess,
for it.
I would have said yours is probably like half of hers. Because I thought that, like, from like a prank-ish point of view, I remember the prank channels were like less than $1.
Yeah.
At the time, because most of the people that were watching make sense were younger people. But I guess if yours is more like on the
Is your channel more like Jubilee or something, like one of those?
No,
kind of like
no.
psychological relationship.
No, not like that. Although we are starting to produce content like that.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not
Those are
like
big
that.
undertakings.
It's more on just the out and about, run and gun, guerrilla shooting.
How big is your team? Because that takes multiple cameras and like
yeah,
organizing
we're
candidates
a
and all that
team
stuff.
of like, if depending on the video that we're doing, but like if it's a crazy one, we could be a maximum team of 8. But if it's just like an easier one, then we're like a team of usually like 4 or 5.
Okay.
And you have an LLC that you built that does it own her channel too, or like, or is it? How does the structure look?
So we have an
that owns your
LLC
thing?
for the UD channel, and then we have an LLC for the Slots channel.
Okay.
Right.
And you're the sole owner of that LLC, or it's shared?
Yeah.
And you own some of that one too? It's 50-50. Okay, because you did that on your own before you met
Yeah.
her,
And
and
then
now.
later we met and we started
Oh.
up other stuff. So
Do you
So
guys
were you
think,
using money from that channel to pay for the slot machines on hers, or you said it was all from your savings working
it
as an
was all-
editor,
so
or were
the-
you an editor for him?
yes.
Ah, gotcha.
So
You're an
we-
editor
we've
for
been
him.
So the
Gotcha.
second one, the one that we have together, is where the money for that Darman style channel went, and so that's
Gotcha.
where I invested that money into the.
Oh, cool. Okay.
dude, your brain runs
There's
at
so much
like so much
experience
faster
here.
than my brain can process.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
so we have a big team, and so like the UD videos have always been very up and down, and so we because we have a big team, we're like, we're trying to create like more content for the team to like work on and everything. So like we would always analyze like trends on YouTube, like what can we do, what can we start to like get into that way the team can have like more work and we can create stuff for like everyone on the team and stuff.
Right.
So we started up that channel. She was the main editor for that channel, and then the rest of our team, they would film, they would do boom mic, all that stuff, and then that channel was pretty good. And then when we moved to Vegas, She wanted to start her own thing here, and then and then that's when.
So is
Slots
moving to
happens.
Vegas part of like this is a better spot for that kind of relationship content, like your team, and you could build a team out here better. And
Moving to Vegas was primarily tax incentives, and then just homes, cheap homes, cheaper homes, because they're getting pretty up there here
Yeah,
too.
for sure.
Over there in California, everything was like $1 million, and like I'm talking like this was like, I mean, beautiful homes still, but they were like 1940s, 1950s, you know. Older, smaller, but they were going for like $1 million, and I'm like, what? Like there was nothing under.
know.
There was nothing under at the time I was looking, and I was looking in 2020. There was nothing under 800K. Like everything under there was like way out, like in the boonies.
Right.
And so we were just trying to look and look and look, and nothing.
Yeah, that's tough. Do you guys think you'll get married at some point?
Yes, we have talked about it.
This is getting deep. Yeah, we've had these conversations. I mean, we've been together for a long time.
Because Corey and I have too, but I don't think we've
Yeah.
talked about it to the point where it's like, oh, we should do it. Like, there's no rush for us either.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just our generation. We're just like, I don't
no, it's
know.
same thing. Yeah, my girlfriend's.
Yeah.
I had my girlfriend like 8 years too.
Yeah.
Same thing. It's
Yeah,
like,
same. We're all 8 years here.
We're kind of like, if we're gonna have a kid, we should probably get married first. But if not, it just doesn't feel like the pressure is there.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
We've always said more of like just an elopement versus like a crazy big wedding.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, unless she wants to.
No, I'm not. I'm really simple. Like
You didn't dream of the wedding dress when you were a little girl.
Ask me what's your I'd be like, I don't. That makes me nervous.
It's like I got work to do.
makes
I
me
got
nervous.
YouTube
Too
videos.
much money. Like
Yeah.
Just give me the recap of the
What about
wedding.
kids? Do
I'll
you guys
just take
think you'll
that.
have kids?
yeah.
Kids are expensive.
I mean, not anytime soon. Yeah, not anytime soon. But
Our neighbor just had a kid, and we love him, but we really saw how like kids are 24/7.
Yeah.
Kids are 24/7, like taking
true.
care of them literally. So I really wanted a kid, like way before. Like she was the one that actually was always like holding off. She was like, no. I've wanted a kid since like 25.
Yeah.
But now that hanging out with our neighbor's kid.
Was that more of like definitely want kids, and we're like, maybe not?
definitely want kids, but not right now. Like, look at the 24-hour supervision and time you got to dedicate to a kid. It's a lot. So.
It is a lot.
I mean, one day, but not.
No, we just took our dog on a sailing trip that our friends have, like this sailboat, and then we took Rito, and we're like, let's see how that's like, because I know that's not quite like having a kid, but it's, you still have to
Comparable a
tend to
little
it.
bit, yeah.
Comparable to some degree. And then we're like,
the dog
I mean, it
door.
was fun, don't get me wrong, but it was like one of those things where we're like, man, if we were like somewhere else, or if we travel and we just assume like we had kids, it would be so hard. And I don't know what it is about. Is it our generation? Is it more of the creative industry people? Like, our parents had kids when they were like 18, or like my parents did. And it was normal. And now it's like we're having kids way older,
Yeah, I think
and we're making way more than our parents,
Yeah.
I think. Well, maybe not relatively. But still, like, it's just like, I don't know what it is. What
It's
do you guys
just with
think
the
it is?
schedules, our jobs are not like typical jobs where
I
you're
guess
working
less
7
predictable,
hour.
right?
Yeah, so the unpredictableness is
And you're like, how long is my income going to last?
exactly.
Like,
And it's stressful.
maybe.
It's like you gotta
That is true, because
like,
jobs back then were like you
yeah,
kind of
you were a
knew
lifer.
forever.
You're like,
Yeah.
I'm going to work in this factory.
and I'll
till
work,
I'm-
and you kind of incrementally know where you're going to be, and
Yeah.
there was a lot
do
more
more
stability.
planning.
Yeah,
Like, I
now
want a kid at
nothing
this
is certain.
age.
Nothing is
Nothing.
like, you're not
Yeah.
guaranteed anything in life anymore.
And this generation likes a lot more experiences versus objects and purchases. So it's like you want those experiences.
Oh, speaking of purchases, you guys have any like guilty, like, here's how I like to blow my money. I like to buy.
like
regrets?
what's the most expensive
ones?
Pokemon card you own?
Pokemon card.
Yeah.
I never. Oh man, I've had a lot.
Mostly him. He's more the impulsive buyer.
Okay, I gotta hear these
okay.
impulse buys.
Ooh.
Let's slow it down a little.
What are his impulsive buys?
Okay.
He's already like.
So
Exposed.
so the first one.
I can think of one.
Which one?
Oh, please tell.
The Tesla.
Oh.
The electric.
Yeah,
oh, you were
the Tesla was
you were
fun.
kind of hating on electric cars before.
No, I see. I love Teslas. They are beautiful cars. I think they just don't fit like our lifestyle. We're always traveling. I hated the whole having to charge. Always, like, I hated, like, we would drive into LA and then like to drive back, like we had to charge.
Yeah.
And then when we would go to charge, the first year was cool because there was no lines. But then slowly but surely the lines started piling up. So on top of waiting an hour to charge the car, now I got to wait 30 minutes in this line to get even into a charger. That was pretty pricey. I ended up just selling it and just getting into a regular gas car.
Okay.
Much more.
So cars are your impulse purchases.
That one, I also bought a computer.
Oh, that's reasonable.
I
mean,
fell
that's your
for the
job.
Apple. It's a Mac.
That's the regular computer though. This is like a monster computer.
It's a gaming
Very
rig?
expensive.
No, it was a Mac Pro. So it cost
okay.
like it was like 30,000. It was completely
Oh my gosh.
It was like not.
When was this?
30K. How much RAM you have in that? 120? 240?
192 gigabytes.
Whoa!
It's
You
a
can.
monster. Like, who even uses that much?
Yeah.
gosh. You
Wait,
got
was this a
Final Cut?
recent purchase or a long time?
It was
ago?
in 2019.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
Yeah,
It's an Intel machine. Or it's an M1.
It's an i9. Yeah, it's an Intel. So it's an i9. It has
Press F to
it
pay
has
respects.
2 graphics cards.
For Final
4
Cut?
graphics cards actually.
10 screens?
Yeah,
Crazy editing.
it was dumb. If I could return it, I would return it.
Yeah.
I would totally.
Do you still use it?
Yeah, I still use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my main editing machine. That's That's
I can
fine.
see how you talked yourself into buying it. Though. You're like, this is for my business. I'm an editor. Like, I need
trying to
this.
Dude, I
But that was the
Yeah.
problem. That
I
I
coulda
kept trying to
done.
justify it.
Yeah.
Dude, I've thought about that too, and then I saw the rate at like how fast everything is evolving, and like when the M2 or the M1 chip
Yeah,
came
the
out,
M1 made a huge
I was
difference.
like, yeah, I will never buy a more than whatever $2,000-$3,000 laptop,
Yeah.
which is a lot of money, $2,000-$3,000 grand. But like even the $30,000 ones from 2019, even like right now, I think you can spec out a Mac Pro to like 30 grand. But I think on they did like a comparison between the M2 or the M3, and it's like pretty much on par.
Yeah.
Which like
And it's just for
For
making
sure.
content. You don't need that crazy
You don't,
stuff
yeah.
for making content. You can edit.
if you're making a
just
feature
fine.
film, you could, yeah. But
It wasn't necessary. It was just it was overkill. You know,
Yeah.
it wasn't necessary.
I think another big mistake I've made through like the YouTube journey is trying to do too much, like being too like trying to start too many channels. Because early on, like especially like when the UD channel was barely blowing up, I had all these ideas for like these other channels. Oh, this will work, this will work, this will work. The problem was though I was trying to do those myself, and I was trying to just obviously like we had our team and everything, but like I was still trying to lead those things. So we had a lot of failed projects that we invested in, a lot of channels that we invested in. We had this one game show that we did one time, never went anywhere. And ultimately, though, what that taught me, I still have all those ideas for all these channels now, but the way I do it now is rather than me doing them, I get people in there and they're the ones running it. So
Right.
it's one of the things I had to teach myself.
bootstrap it, yeah.
Which is kind of like common sense because you would think like, oh yeah, just get someone else to run it. But then it's like, I don't know, I had to teach myself.
No,
So your
it's
LLC
surprising.
will like invest in people and say like, we'll build a channel for you. You get some of the profit from it, and then they run the channel under your idea.
No, if I
So
have
are
the
you,
idea.
are you like a network, like a little?
Well,
MLM
usually what
kind
I
of thing?
do is like I'll reach out to my friends and I'll be like, hey, I just found this niche. Like I think it's really going to blow up. I feel like it's going to be really, really successful. And I'll tell them, hey, do you want to run this channel? Do you want to start it like on your own, dude? You should do this channel. If they tell me like, yeah, I'll do it, but I don't have time to, or if they tell me like, oh, I'd rather do it like with you, like with your guidance and this and that, then I'll be like, okay, cool. Like if you want to do it together, like where I help guide it in the right direction. Then he takes equity, I take equity. So
Right.
I don't just pay them. I give them like chunks of the channel. And yeah, that's basically it.
That's really cool. Have you had any channels that were successful other than that?
We've worked on other than
The main one you have.
yeah. So the other successful one is the one she was saying, that one, like the life stories types of videos. And then the other one from there, we're working on another one right now, actually out of our garage, which is more like of a drama recap type reaction.
That's really cool. So you prioritize more so investing profits back into YouTube and social media and like figuring out other streams of revenue versus like assets like stocks or something for now.
Yeah. We want to get into like real estate, like investing into like all that stuff. But yeah, right now it's more like the channels, because we look at the channels like small businesses.
Yeah.
Like
those
investing
and-
in yourself, you have an edge there, so you think your money's probably better spent on a new channel than
Yeah.
So that would be like his risk appetite. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah, I see what-
that's
yeah,
how
exactly.
you risk in your
Starting
life.
new channels,
Yes.
investing in them for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just feel like social media is not going anywhere. I feel like it's always going to be around. And so, like, even when we're like 40 or 50 years old, and if I still have the knack for it, like, we could just still be creating other channels. Like, probably I won't be running them anymore at that point, but like someone else will be. Someone else will be, doing that stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, and maybe it'll go into like VR and some of these other platforms, AR. It's kind of where I see social media in the long run. I think in the long run, maybe another decade, it's like AR glasses that are augmented with something in 3 dimensions is where I think social media goes. Like, so just looking at you, you would see above me the information that would be pulled in from what was traditionally Instagram or YouTube. So
All I know is that there are two industries that have always spearheaded that.
Oh, yeah, okay. We all
Magic
know what those
and-
industries... Well, actually, I know
Ma-
one of those industries.
Magic
What's
and the adult film industry. They have always
Oh,
spearheaded
Magic?
technologies. For whatever reason, they're the first to experiment with like nascent tech.
Do you think you're going to get a Tesla robot when it's ready? Like the Optimus robot so it can hang out in your kitchen with you guys and do work?
Kind of
You
like
see
that,
it?
that Robo Dog looks cool.
Yeah, well, Robo Dog, would you start there? You guys see robots
Those
in
things
your
are like
future?
70 grand, I think.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm talking about? Those like
Yeah,
the
Abio?
robot dogs.
No, I
Abio or
haven't seen
whatever?
that.
It's a Sony dog. It's all
Really?
robot.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't think that's practical.
Well,
only
I
only
think
you would buy that. Dylan.
I've already pre-ordered. I'm pre-ordered. It comes in the back of my Cybertruck.
Are you guys gonna get into the Cybertruck or
Yeah, we have one on order.
do you? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everyone.
When it comes out though, because I,
Yeah.
It's supposed
I
to be
don't
up
know.
on-
I'm having second thoughts now. I'm like,
Really?
everyone with $100 has one on pre-order, and I'm just like, I just like
I don't know if it's gonna lose that excitement.
that. But also,
will.
I don't know if I want to buy the first iteration of it, just because I'm seeing how much trouble Elon says he's having with it, and I feel like that first gen is gonna be just busted, and then like the one that's after that will be like they perfected a bunch of the details.
Yeah, the way after my
might be
Tesla,
right.
the way I look at Teslas now is just fun cars.
Yeah.
Like commuting cars.
Secondary car, maybe. It's a lot to charge it and everything. And also, like, when you got the Tesla, there was still a lot of improving that needed to be done with it. So
Yeah, we got it in 2018. So we were like grandfathered into like the free supercharging, unlimited
Oh,
supercharging,
nice.
into like all that stuff. But the battery would die a lot quicker. And then you know how the range, it would say like the true range was like, sorry, the full range was like 220, but then like the true range is only like 175.
Right.
Because you know we always blast the AC, we play music, we drive faster than we should. And yeah.
yeah, no, it was a lot. We drove it one time from Los Angeles to Vegas, and it took 8 hours in that car. It was ridiculous. Just having to stop to
8
charge.
hours? Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Yes, it was the mileage. It didn't have a lot.
Holy crap.
It was bad. Yeah, we drove. We had to stop by. What was it, Yermo?
Yeah,
We stopped in Yermo to charge.
And we had to wait the entire, what was it, like over an hour for it to charge. It was the longest drive to Vegas ever.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
Lord.
why I call them fun
It's true
cars,
for
because
it,
if you
yeah.
got the time for it, if you have the lifestyle for it, then yeah, they're fun. They're beautiful cars. It's
those
great
long-distance
technology.
travels, yeah.
Yeah, but if you're like on a time crunch, or if you're you're more traveling or gotta go, then yeah.
Do you have any life advice for yourself if you were younger? If you could time travel, tell yourself, bro.
A lot.
Yeah? What are some of them?
This is cliche and corny, but it's actually something that I still deal with today. Let go of the perfectionism. I feel I full on. I know it's corny, but like I full on struggle with this. Like I want to make everything so perfect and so neat and
That's like
everything.
Jen.
Yeah, that is true. That's like my girlfriend. She's a perfectionist. To it.
And that has really held us back like a lot with projects, with videos, with just everything.
Paralyzed by perfection. Yeah.
Yeah, because our minimum effort is probably better than most people's best effort.
Right.
So
What about you, Leslie?
Yeah, no, I would agree. I would think like overthinking is a big one. Sometimes we're too scared to take the step, and all you need to do is to take the step to get somewhere. So I would just say more of the, overthinking. Take that step, stop thinking about it too much, and the faster you do it, the faster you'll get to where you want to be.
Jump
So
into it.
perfectionism,
Yeah.
you both have the same kind of weakness in perfectionism, where it's
in a lot of
a
ways.
benefit and a weakness.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, yeah, we do though. Like we're afraid to kind of like let things go sometimes, or just like not be afraid to just put it out there, Like we did all this, like let's just put it out there and move on to the next thing,
Right. Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you guys
Yeah.
for coming on. That was
Yeah.
Thank you
fun.
for having me.
It was fun. Yeah, take some licks to the face. That's how we like to end it with a good
Oh.
lick to the face.